Hello students, welcome to Programming with C and C++ online classes. Today our topic is flowcharts. Today I am going to explain about the topic is flowcharts. So what is the use of flowcharts and why we need to use the flowcharts in C programming language? Now we can see in this session we have to learn about that concept. Now let us start our session. Okay. What is flowchart? What is flowchart? Yes. Here flowchart definition we have. Flowchart is graphical representation of an algorithm. Flowchart is a graphical representation of an algorithm. In the last class, I have explained about the concept of algorithm. Na? So that is a step-by-step process. We have write the steps wise. For example, if the program is my requirement program is I want to add two numbers. For that, first I would like to explain with practically. For that, developer C++ window I am opening. Yeah, here go to file menu, choose new option. In that source file you need to select to type any program in developer C++ window, developer C++ editor. First we need to go to the file and choose the new option, and in that source file you need to select. And also one more shortcut key, we have to open a new file, that is Control N. Here it is showing na Control plus N. So if you want to open by using shortcut key, just you can use Control plus N. At a time you need to press in the keyboard, then automatically this new window it will open. Here already one window open na. Now I am opening one more window by using Control plus, and at a time I am pressing. You untitle it to that new document also it has opened na. So like that, if you want number of new windows to type the program, then you can use the Control N. It is the shortcut form. So here first window is enough to type. So that's why this is I am closing. Right. Here hash include stdio.h. This is header file. First my requirement is I want to display the title of program, adding two numbers. So for that, first main function I am using. Without a main function we can't execute any C program. So if you want to execute any C programs, main function is mandatory to use. So without main function we can't execute any C program. Understand? Okay. Next, here my requirement is what? Adding two numbers. So for that, two variables required na? To hold that two variables required, and int is data type, and x, and also comma, x, y, z, three variables I have declared. In the x, first value it can hold. In the y, by using y variable, one more value it can hold. After that, x plus y we need to declare na. So after calculating the two numbers, after adding the two numbers, I want to store into one more variable. So that's why I have declared z variable also. So three variables are enough. Okay na? At last, semicolon is must and shouldly required. In C language, each and every statement ends with semicolon. That is mandatory rule for C programming language. That is mandatory rule. So here just you can understand the first understand the program. After that you need to write the algorithm, and also you need to draw the flow chart for that. Understand? So that's why first I am writing the code for your understanding purpose. Actually, if you for your understanding purpose, first I am writing the code in the editor, but in the real time first we need to develop the code, first we need to develop the algorithm, and also need to develop the flow chart. After that actual code, nothing but this program need to develop, because of first we need to approve by the client na, by looking algorithms and also by looking flow charts. After that client can approve that, client will approve that, client accept that diagrams. So for that, if the client approves successfully, then we need to go for developing a code. Understand? But for your understanding purpose, so algorithms how to develop, that algorithms how to write, so all those things I would like to explain after the writing of code. For only for your understanding purpose, first I am developing the code, so then only you can understand here, otherwise you can't understand. Otherwise you can't understand. And okay, in the real time way we have to go. So now I am not going to develop anything here, so that's why I am closing. First I am opening one Word window, Microsoft Word I am opening. In that, first I am developing the algorithm. First I am developing the algorithm. What is that? First, adding two numbers. Adding two numbers. Adding two numbers. Here, first I am developing algorithm for that. Algorithm. So for that, first we need to print step 1. Step 1. In the step 1, I am writing the, first I want to print numbers. First I want to print one statement for user understanding purpose. What is that? Enter X value. Enter X value. Okay. So by reading this line, user need to give one input na. User need to give one input. So actually, what is the requirement you have? That requirement first developer need to understand. First developer need to understand. After that, for that requirement purpose, how many variables required, that the developer need to decide before creating the code. So in the step 1, first we need to declare the variables, because of at top position we need to declare the variables. After that, we haven't any chance to declare the variables in C language. Understand? In the C language, if you want to declare any variable, compulsory at the top position we need to declare by using data types. So here my requirement is what? Adding two numbers. For that, X and Y variables must and should be required. After that, after adding the two numbers, first we need to collect the two numbers by the input from the keyboard. We need to collect the two values. After that, we need to add nothing but X plus Y statement we need to use in our program. So that X plus Y, after calculating, after adding the two numbers, we need to store into one more variable. So for that, for this program, three variables must and should be required here. Three variables. So that's why here I am using declaring variables. Declaring variables. So this is algorithm. For this program purpose, I am using the algorithm, this one. Declaring variables, like declaring variables like x comma y comma z. So these three variables I am declaring. After that, in step 2, collect the input of x variable and next one, step 3, collect the input of y variable. After that, step 4, adding x and adding x plus y values. After that, step 5, after adding, we have to store the sum value into z variable. Store into z variable. Okay, next, step 6, finally we have to print the result. So this is the algorithm of adding two numbers program. Algorithm completed na. So like that. And next one, flowcharts we have to develop. Flowchart means here step by step. In algorithm, whatever the program code we have, that program code we have to mention in the word format. We have to mention in the sentence format. Am I correct or not? So by reading this all steps, each and every person can easily understood by the code na. Easily they can understood by the code. What is the program? That program behind what is the steps we have. So all those things by reading these lines, easily they can understand. Not only one person, not only user, every person it can understand. Every person this code can understand. What is the behind? What is that program behind? What is the process is going on? That entire process they can understand by reading this all those steps. So that is called algorithm. So this is only step by step, nothing but here declaring sentences na. Here just we can use the English words, English sentences. So by reading these all lines, they can understand simply. Here flowchart means, carefully observe, flowchart is nothing but it is representing the same steps into a graphical representation. Nothing but with the diagrams, here we used some symbols. Here we used some symbols, nothing but circles, rectangles and also squares, like all those things here we can use. That diagram symbols also now we have to see. So nothing but here flowchart is what purpose we have to use? To represent the same program in the diagrammatical format, in the graphical format we can represent on the screen. Then only each and every person, not only client, each and every person they can understand what is the flowing of execution, the program, how it is executing from one way to another way, how it is going to execute. So all those things, the directions also it will represent on the screen. By using flowcharts, we have to represent that type of execution flow. Then only the users and also clients, what are the project owners, who are the project owners, those persons easily can understand how the execution flow is going on by using this program. So all those things they can understand and they can approve. If the business holder, the owner, the project owner satisfied by these algorithms and flowcharts, they can approve easily. So for that, these pre-plans must and should be required. Here algorithm and flowcharts are nothing but a pre-plans. For example, if you want to construct any building, so before starting actual work, first we need to start a pre-plan. First we need to draw one architecture about the building. After that we need to show to the owner that diagrams, that architecture plans we need to show to the owners, building owners. If the building owner satisfied with that predefined plan, if the building owner has seen and satisfied and also approved by the owner, then only the actual building work will start by the construction people. Am I correct or not? Here also same. If you want to design any software, first we need to write the steps of algorithms. After that we need to draw the diagrams. By using graphical representation symbols. We need to represent on the flowcharts. If the flowcharts and algorithms, by looking the flowcharts and algorithms, owner will understand how the software will work. So that every concept understand by the project owner. If the project owner approved by the project owner this project, then actual work will start by the software people. Here also nothing but actual code they will develop after approving these two pre-plans. So for that, algorithms and flowcharts we have to develop. Understand? So now we have to see the flowcharts. So actually what is flowchart? Flowchart is a graphical representation of an algorithm. Flowchart is a graphical representation of an algorithm. So programs often use it as a program. Programs for each and every program, not only one program. If you want to develop adding two numbers, or if you want to develop some other projects, some other programs, and if you want to calculate any student marks calculation, so for that programs, graphical representation purpose, flowcharts we have to use. Not only each and every program have the same flowchart. So you are thinking that is wrong way. Each and every program has different flowchart because of each and every program not a same na. So for example, to calculation of average and calculating of total, these two are same programs na? No, because of that logic is different and this logic is different. Average calculation formula is different and total calculation formula is different. So if you want to develop any program, for that one flowchart we need to design. Like that, if you want to design some other project, for that one more flowchart we have to define by using symbols. But the direction flow we have to understand about that symbols only. Programmers often use it as a program planning tool to solve a problem. If you want to solve a problem, algorithms are very useful and also flowcharts also very useful. So programmers every time, if they want to develop any programs, for that algorithms, flowcharts, first they need to use. It makes use of symbols which are connected among them to indicate the flow of information and processing. For example, here adding two numbers. For that, first we need to collect the first value. Adding two numbers purpose, two variables required now. So first variable value we need to collect by the user from the keyboard. Understand? And after that, one more variable is there now. So second variable value also we have to collect from the user by the giving as an input. So first value has collected and also second value has collected. After that, we need to adding two numbers. So that execution flow. So first we have to enter one input now. First variable value we have to enter. After that, the entered value where it has to be stored, first variable, nothing but that is called, we have declared x. If you want to hold any variables, if you want to hold any values, compulsory variables must and should be required. Understand? So that's why only to hold the values while running the program, to hold the values purpose, variables are very important here. So here our concept is right now flowcharts. So all of you please carefully concentrate on only 4 flowcharts. Okay na? Variables, data types, all those things I will explain in the next classes. But here what is a flowchart and why we need to use the flowcharts. So these two things we need to concentrate on in this class only. Then only you can understand proper way. Flowchart is nothing but whatever the algorithm steps we have defined, that algorithm steps, whatever the algorithm steps we have, those are those are we have to represent as a graphical format, nothing but symbol format we can show on the screen. So for each and every program have a different flowchart. Each and every program have a different flowcharts. Actually algorithms and flowcharts, all those things compulsory, each and every programmer they have to use, not only C programmer. If they have, if Java programs also having the algorithms and flowcharts, and also PHP programs also having the programs algorithms and flowcharts. Each and every program, each and every programming language contains algorithms and flowcharts also, because of these two are pre-planning tools. First we need to develop the algorithm, after that we have to draw the flowchart about that program. So by looking at these two things, whatever the program, I mean whoever the program holder, program head, program owner, who is having the program head, sorry, who are the program head, program owner, that program owner, by looking up these two things, they can approve. If they can satisfy with the giving algorithms and flowcharts, easily they can understand, easily they can approve. Otherwise, if anything wrong thing happened in these two things, then programmer, I mean then owner will not satisfy and will not approve. Again the project architecture, again they need to draw one more flowcharts, then in that case some changes also must and should be required. Sometimes it will also happen, okay na. So before going to draw, before going to create an algorithms and before going to draw flowcharts, so compulsory here all those things, whatever the project requirements the owner expected, that all those things they need to should be clear, they need to mention in the flowcharts and algorithm, they should be clear to understand. If any ambiguous created, if any confusion created by the owner, sorry, if any confusion feeling by the owner, then they cannot accept, they cannot approve this project development. Again some changes must and should be required by the project planner. Who is the project plan designer? So that person, they need to change some things. Again they need to go for owner to show the algorithms and flowcharts. So here flowchart is nothing but whatever the algorithms we have developed first, that algorithm steps, each and every step we have to represent with the graphical representation. For that we have to use the basic symbols of flowcharts. Here terminal symbol we are using na, the oval symbol, nothing but this one. Circle symbol we have na. How to draw this one? And if you use the word oval symbol, oval symbol, oval symbol, this is used to start and stop of flowchart, start and stop of flowchart. So how to draw this one? Oval symbol. How to draw? Go to insert menu. For example, if you want to use to draw a flowchart, if you want to use Word window, Microsoft Word window, for that go to insert menu, then choose the shapes option. Here this oval symbol is there na, click on that, and simply draw with the mouse, wait, okay, this is oval symbol, understand? Next, for the flowchart opening and closing purpose we need to use that oval symbol. Next, input output purpose we need to use the rectangular symbol, input and output purpose we have to use the parallelogram symbol. This is not a rectangular, parallelogram. Parallelogram. So a parallelogram, P-A-R-A-L-L-E, parallelogram. Okay, how it can pronounce? First we have to pronounce that one. Pronounce.
Parallelogram.
Yeah, same thing. Parallelogram. Okay, this is called parallelogram. If you want to collect any input, for that parallelogram symbol we have to use. Similarly, if you want to show the output, for that in the representation time, this symbol, parallelogram symbol, we have to use. Understand? Parallelogram denotes any function of input or output type. Program instructions that take input from input devices and display output on output devices are indicated with the parallelogram in flowchart. How to draw this one? Here also same thing. This symbol we can use for the input and output representation purpose. Representation we can use for the input and output representation purpose. Representation in flowcharts. Because of these all symbols we can represent in the flowcharts only. So how we can draw that one? Go to insert menu in this and go to shapes option. Here where it has search, yeah, this one. Go to insert menu and choose this one. Simply you can draw this. Understand? So this is that symbol. Is this that symbol? No. Wait. I have wrongly committed this one, and go to insert menu and go to choose the shapes option. Here you can check where it has, where it is. Here this we can use. First we have to draw this one like this. First we have to draw like this. After that it can rotate here like this. So then also it can use like this. So it is also not in correct way. So now I am clearing this one. For that I am opening Paint. So here also not there. So just you simply copy this from the internet. Okay. Now I am copying this image. Just simply I am pasting here. Yes. And this diagram is also will work like that. This diagram also same output it will get. And one more website we have to see. Yeah, here diagram is there now. So instead of this one, all of you carefully observe. Instead of this one, before whatever the diagram we have to draw, we have drawn. So that diagram is also we can use, no problem. For the parallelogram purpose, go to insert menu, choose shapes option. Here this option is there now. So you can draw this one also. This is also same thing happen. For input and output purpose, we can use this diagram also. This is called parallelogram. Understand? Oval symbol and this is parallelogram symbol. PARALLELAGRAM. Understand? Parallelogram. I think some spelling mistake I have typed here, so that's why. Yeah, this is the correct spelling. Right. And this symbol we can use what purpose? For collecting input and for showing output purpose, we can use the parallelogram symbol. Right. Next. Next, what is the symbol we have? And next, processing symbol. Processing symbol is nothing but it is indicating with the rectangular symbol only. A box represents arithmetic instructions. All arithmetic processes such as adding, subtracting, multiplication and division are indicated by action of process symbol. Here the processing symbol for what purpose? Process. If you want to do any process after collecting two inputs, here this one, this symbol is what? After for the collection of inputs, for the collection of input and for showing the output. And after that I will show one example also, so don't worry about this. First, process means here we have to use rectangular symbol. Rectangular symbol, we have to use rectangular symbol to do the process of addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. And division purpose we can use this one. So for that, go to insert menu, go to shapes and just we can draw the rectangular symbol. This is called a rectangular symbol. So if you want to do any process, for that we have to indicate with the rectangular symbol only. Understand? Next, what is the next? The processing is over. After that, decision, diamond symbol we can use. Diamond symbol represent a decision point. Decision based operations such as yes or no, question, or true or false are indicated by the diamond symbol. For example, if we want to execute one direction, for example, if you have, all of you carefully observe, diamond symbol. Diamond symbol we can use this symbol for to take the decisions only. To take the decisions only. For example, paint I am opening to show for that purpose. Here my condition is what? For example, here staff and also student. Here two types of applications we have, staff applications and student application. So if the enter student, here I am taking the diamond symbol because of in the flowcharts we have to represent with the this symbol only to take the decision. Here I have to use the code like this. If opening input equal to students, input equal to students. If I use like this in the program, first the control will go to here. The application will execute, student application it will execute. This is student application. This is student application. So it will execute. Otherwise it will execute staff only. Otherwise it can execute staff application. Because of here only two choices we have. Here only two choices we have. So like this type of decisions we can change by, we can represent on the flowcharts. For that diamond symbol we can use. How to draw this one diamond symbol? If you use the Microsoft window and go to insert menu, choose say shapes option. Here also diamond symbol we have. Check. Yes, this is diamond symbol. Like that we can draw. And next, connectors. Whenever flow chart becomes complex or it spreads over more than one page, it is useful to use connectors to avoid any confusions. It is representing by the circle. For example, if we have two flow charts. Okay, drawing is taking very high time, and the video time is lagging very high time, so that's why I'm showing in the internet. All of you carefully see circle symbol where we have to use in flow charts. Just simply I'm searching that word. Here all of you carefully observe circle symbol. Yeah, this is confusing, so not required here. And next, one more diagram. Okay, by looking images we can identify that one. Where it has connectors or joining of two parts of program of same page. Okay, here same program we have now, start and finish, start and stop purpose oval symbol they have used it. Understand? Here all just simply you can understand by looking this diagram where we have to use. If the program contain two parts, if the decision is taken here, and before I have to see, before I shown this symbols. For the decision purpose, diamond symbol we can use. And where we have to use this one, for example, if the user is equal to student, then student type of application it can execute. If the otherwise, if compulsory, he should be a staff, so staff application it will execute. Either only this application we can represent for only two parts, nothing but staff application and students application. It is like that. If you have any parts, if you want to show in the flow charts, for that connector symbols we can use. Here this is one part and this is second part, this is third part, and these two are also used at where, for the decision symbols only. At the decision symbols it is showing one part, the first decision part, one circle symbol it is representing. If it is true, then it is execute one side, if it is false, it is execute other side. So it has only one part. After that, it is, if you enter inside code, then here two parts we have, here also two parts we have. All of you carefully observe. So like that we can use circle symbols only if it can execute for that purpose only. Sometimes one flowchart is connected with another flowchart, nothing but another part of program. So for that we can represent with this one. And arrows also, arrows option is there now. So connectors use like that. Next, flow lines. Flow lines are nothing but arrows. Flow lines indicate the exact sequence in which instructions are executed. So arrows represent the direction, flow of control and relationship among different symbols of flowchart. Here previously I have executed one program. Okay now. So for that I am drawing, adding two numbers purpose, I am drawing one flowchart. So for that, first I am opening oval symbol, and starting and stopping purpose we can use this one only. Start the terminal. START, start the terminal. Next, collect the inputs. For collecting inputs purpose, here I am drawing one thing. Yeah, collecting input purpose, I am just copying here and simply I am just pasting. Because of that symbol we don't have in the paint, so that's why. Yeah, inputs for x and y variables. X and y variables. X and y variables. So after that, process is going on. So for that, rectangular symbol we can use. In this, just simply we can use z equal to x plus y. Z equal to x plus y we are using. After that, again this symbol, because of we need to print that z value, sum we need to print so for that output symbol we have to use. So output symbol is nothing but this one, print z value. Print z value, right? And finally we can stop. And finally we can stop the terminal. So like that we have to draw the flow chart, and arrow marks are compulsory required. Arrow marks are compulsory required, and this is also arrow. So here carefully observe, arrow means just simply you can draw like this, understand? Like that flowcharts are very useful. Actually what purpose we can develop this all entire things? Only for user understanding purpose. User is means what? Project owner. Who are the project owner we have? That project owner, by looking up these entire diagrams, what is the execution flow is going on, how the program is working, so everything he can understand. Everything he can understand. So it is a pre-planning tool. So algorithms also very pre-planning tool, and also as well as along with that flowcharts are also pre-planning tool. Like that we have to define. And for example, if you have, after giving that input, for example if you use the decision type applications, for that diamond symbol we can use. For that diamond symbol we can use. If the application will execute from the right side, here connector symbol we can use, nothing but circle symbol we can use. If you have the two parts of program, for that we can use this type of parts. This type of parts we can use. Here my application is, for example, students or staff, related to two parts we have. So how it can represent? By using these symbols only, connector symbols. These connector symbols I have. And this is one application, this is one application. Understand? Sorry, here these symbols we cannot use here. If you have any two parts for the application, then circle symbols we can use. And arrays also must and shouldly we need to use. And it can find out by the execution of flow direction. Here it is executed from top to bottom na. So that's why arrow direction is in the top to bottom level. Down arrows I have used it. Understand? So like that flowcharts are very useful to represent our program in graphical representation. Sorry, if you want to represent our program as a graphical format, for that flowcharts are very useful. And advantages of flowcharts. Flowcharts are better way of communicating the logic of system. Better way of communicating the logic of system. If you develop algorithms and flowcharts, not only understand by the clients, some other programmers also they can understand the program. I mean the previous programmer developed a program, behind what is the execution, what is the flow of execution it is going on. So how it is going on from one side to another side. If the input is given, after that the execution is going to where. So that direction is indicating with the flowcharts only. For example purpose, in the real-time example I would like to tell with you right now. So carefully observe. For example, if you want to go for ATM, so inside ATM, what it will ask first? Please insert the card. After inserting the card, immediately it is asking the one more input, nothing but a password. So if you enter that correct password, so it will execute some options page, nothing but it will show the some output, nothing but one more. It will connect to the bank database. It will connect to the bank database because of you are the correct user, you are the authorized user. That's why you have the ATM card and also password you have known. Understand? If you know these two things, if you have the ATM card and also if you know the password, and if you go to the ATM, when you insert the card and when you enter the password, after that it will show bank related information because of you are the correct person. Otherwise, for example, if you enter the wrong pin in the ATM, then the bank database it will show or not? It will not show because of the error page it will show. The error page it will show. So like that, the direction it is indicating with the flowcharts only. The execution flow is changing now. So here two files we have. One is error file and one is bank database file. If you give the correct password, if you give the correct password of your ATM card, then it will show the bank database. If you give the wrong password, and it will show the error page. It will show the error page. Here two directions you have now. One is success direction and one is error. It is showing error direction, unsuccess direction. So like that, that complete part it can show by using flowcharts only. So by looking that flowcharts, not only you and who are the looking the diagrams, it can understand. I mean the process is understand by the diagrams only. Diagrams will speak directly that information. What is the execution flow is going on from one side to another side. If you give the right input, then it will show the right database. If you give the wrong output, then it will show the error messages. Nothing but wrong output it will show. Understand? So that is the process. That entire process is representing with the graphics only by using some symbols. So that is called flowcharts. So compulsory each and every program compulsory should need one algorithm and should need one flowchart also. For example, if you are in one project, if you are developing in one project, nothing but you are working in Infosys. So Infosys taking one project. So in that project you are also working. You can work in only 1 month. You will work only 1 month. After that you got a new job. You go to the new company. So in your current project, the Infosys company will recruit by some other project holders now. After that, after recruiting that person, how they can understand everything about your project? So by looking algorithms, by reading, by looking flowcharts and also by reading algorithms, the next level programmer they can understand and they can continue also, and they can continue from that project also. Understand? So these flowcharts and algorithms and also comments and also all those things will work. All these three parts, algorithms and flowcharts and comments, by reading all those things, each and every person they can understand. If the project holder also they can understand directly. Understand? So they will continue in the project only. So without awareness, nobody will not continue. Without awareness, nobody will not continue at anywhere. So compulsory, before what is the project is done, whatever the project done by some other programmer, so by looking of algorithms and by looking of flowcharts and by reading of algorithms, they can simply understand. So that's why, and from that time onwards, the new programmer also will continue that projects. So that is the use of flowcharts and algorithms, pre-planning tools. Okay, flowchart helps in debugging process. Whatever the information I told you right now, that information is equal to this line only. Flowchart helps in debugging process. If you want to do any modification in your project, that project is already existed and also developed by someone programmer. But now you are running in this project. You are running in this project. So if you want to do any new features, if you want to add any new features, compulsory these flowcharts and algorithms you must have to read, because of you are the current programmer. So that responsibility will take by you only. If you want to enhance with a new feature for your application, for your program, so compulsory first we need to read these algorithms and also flowchart, and also you can understand, and after understanding this you need to enhance, you need to add some features into your project. So that entire process will done by these many flowcharts and algorithms. So algorithms and flowcharts important is this much you have in the real-time projects. Next, it provides better documentation. Flowcharts serve a good proper documentation. Next, disadvantages of flowchart. It is difficult to draw flowchart for a large and complex programs. For example, if your project is IRCTC application, you can take first as an example. It is the biggest application of in our India. So it is the biggest application. So if you want to draw flowchart for that, then it is a very difficult, it is a very critical process. In this, there is no standard to determine the amount of detail and difficult to reproduce the flowcharts, and it is very difficult to modify the flowchart. Once you have defined the flowchart for the big application, for the biggest application, and if you want to modify anything, everything you can change, because of that process is very critical. Understand? So that is the disadvantages. Those are the disadvantages. And compared to advantages and disadvantages, we have the advantages. We have a more advantages. So disadvantages you can bear thing, you cannot bear. So now you have understood about the flowcharts, algorithms. Okay, today I am stopping this session, and in the tomorrow's session I will explain with the new hot topic. Thank you.